going, everybody? Wait for the Kingdom Report, back with you once again to cover all the latest Disney news from coast to coast and around the world. To make sure that you are always up to date, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell turned on. That way, anytime we have a Disney news update, you are alerted ASAP. And here's what's happening. MSN.com reports that Disney executives touted strong subscriber growth for its Disney Plus streaming platform and a robust rebound in attendance at the company's U.S. theme parks in an earnings call on Wednesday. Notably absent from the conversation was the ongoing dispute with Florida, whose legislature dissolved Walt Disney World's private government known as the Reedy Creek Improvement District last month. Analysts instead focused on how inflationary pressures will impact Disney's business, whether Netflix subscriber loss foretells Disney Plus's fate, and how China's zero-COVID strategy is impacting parks in Asia. Disney added 7.9 million Disney Plus subscribers in the second quarter, which CEO Bob Chapek said puts the company on track to reach its goal of 230 to 260 million subscribers by 2024, saying, quote, "The growth of the platform since its launch reinforces its unique nature. Quite simply, we believe Disney Plus is one of a kind, a service based on exceptional branded content," close quote. Netflix announced last month that it lost about 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter, roiling investors and contributing to a 72% decline in the streaming giant's stock so far this year. Inflation, which spiked 8.3% in April, was also at the top of investors' minds. Quote, "It's very difficult to accurately forecast the potential financial impact due to the fluidity of the situation," Disney CFO Christine McCarthy said on Wednesday's earnings call. "But you can trust that we are fully aware of it and we're working hard to mitigate any pressure on the margin," close quote. Closures at Disney's theme parks in China, which is dealing with its largest COVID-19 outbreak since the pandemic began, could adversely impact revenue by up to $350 million in the third quarter versus 2021, McCarthy said. Despite that, attendance at domestic parks has rebounded, leading to $6.65 billion in park revenue. Chapek said, "We're obviously extremely pleased with our domestic parks operations and how they have come back so robustly." It remains to be seen how Disney's rift with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will play out. Disney originally slammed Florida's parental rights and education bill, which prohibits lessons about sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through third grade, when it was first passed in March. Quote, "Our goal as a company is for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts," close quote. Shares of Disney stock closed down 2.29% on Wednesday. Once again, thanks to MSN for that story. Los Angeles Times reports the following, saying a federal judge on Tuesday dismissed a taxpayer lawsuit from Florida residents who sued the state and its Republican Governor Ron DeSantis over a decision to dissolve Walt Disney Company's special governing district near Orlando. The lawsuit, filed last week in U.S. District Court in Miami, alleged that the move to eliminate the district was unconstitutional, violated the state's legal and contractual obligations, and would saddle taxpayers with a $1 billion debt burden. The legal battle is part of the broader fallout from Disney's fight with Florida over the parental rights and education law. DeSantis last month signed a law that would eliminate Disney's special tax and self-ruling status in Central Florida by axing the Reedy Creek Improvement District, which was created by the state legislature in 1967 to essentially give Disney its own municipal government. State lawmakers voted to scrap the district during a special legislative session after Disney said it wanted to see the parental rights bill, which activists see as an attack on LGBTQ youths, repealed or blocked by the courts. The decision to dismantle Reedy Creek, covering a 25,000-acre area that is home to Walt Disney World Resort, was widely seen as retaliation against Disney for its stance against the law, which bans classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in kindergarten through the third grade. The law allows parents to sue school districts over violations. In an order dismissing the taxpayer lawsuit, Chief Judge Cecilia Altonaga wrote that the complaint was out of the court's jurisdiction. Her 5-page order said state officials could not be sued in federal court over claims arising from alleged violations of state law. She also said that state residents could not sue over alleged violations of Disney's First Amendment rights, only their own constitutional rights. Additionally, the judge noted that the law eliminating the district does not go into effect until July 1st and called the taxpayers' claims of harm, quote, highly speculative, close quote. Plaintiff's theory of standing is that the elimination of the Reedy Creek Improvement District might result in financial harm to plaintiffs by virtue of a tax increase that has not been enacted, she wrote. The indirect and highly speculative alleged injury cannot support federal jurisdiction. The bill itself will not raise plaintiffs' taxes. Again, it is worth emphasizing the bill does not apply to plaintiffs at all, close quote. William Sanchez, a lawyer for the Florida residents who sued the state, did not immediately respond to the Times' request for comment. The dismissed complaint was filed on behalf of 4 Florida residents, 3 in Osceola County and 1 in Orange County. Their suit alleged that the state violated legal obligations forbidding it from dissolving the district without resolving its outstanding debt, which some experts have said would be passed on to surrounding counties. DeSantis press secretary Christina Pushaw applauded the judge's decision and reiterated the governor's position that eliminating the district will not create an additional tax burden for Floridians. A plan for shutting down the district has not been released. Quote, perhaps this will put to rest the speculation from those who are hoping, with no basis in reality, that this will end in some sort of taxpayer or state burden that partisan critics can use against the governor, Pushaw said in an email. In reality, this opportunity can and should be utilized to generate more taxes from Disney, as the governor has said, close quote. The district would be eliminated on June 1st, 2023, but could be reinstated after that date, meaning that Disney and the state would have about a year to come up with a new agreement. The law seeks to dissolve all Florida special improvement districts created before 1968. Disney has not commented on the decision to revoke its special tax status. Once again, thanks to the Los Angeles Times for that story. And finally, Yahoo News reports the following, saying that Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri is introducing legislation that would strip the Walt Disney Company of special copyright protections granted to the corporation by Congress, while also limiting the length of new copyrights. The Copyright Clause Restoration Act of 2022 would cap the length of copyrights given to corporations by Congress to 56 years, and retroactively implement this change on companies, including Walt Disney. Quote, the age of Republican handouts to big business is over. Thanks to special copyright protections from Congress, woke corporations like Disney have earned billions, while increasingly pandering to woke activists. It's time to take away Disney's special privileges and open up a new era of creativity and innovation, Hawley said. According to Hawley's office, Congress has used an old law, also known as the Mickey Mouse Protection Act, in order to extend copyrights to corporations for up to 120 years. Instead of issuing copyright protections to create enough monopoly protection in order to foster innovation, companies are getting handouts from Congress for a much longer period than needed. The action by Hawley comes after Disney publicly opposed Florida's new parental rights legislation that bars instruction on sexual orientation or gender identity in kindergarten through the 3rd grade. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill at the end of April dissolving Walt Disney's special self-governing status in the state, which the company held for over 50 years. At the bill's signing ceremony, DeSantis said Disney lied about the content of the state's new parental rights law, and he viewed the company's vow to fight it as unacceptable. Nearly 24 Republican lawmakers wrote to Disney CEO Bob Chapek last month, declaring their opposition to renewing the company's copyright on Mickey Mouse, which is set to expire in 2024. The lawmakers noted in their letter that, quote, the Constitution gives Congress the authority to determine the length of time to protect copyrights. Further, it explicitly states that copyrights may not be permanent. Yet Disney's long history of lobbying on this issue suggests that is its goal, close quote. Once again, thank you to Yahoo News for that story. And now you are up to date. For more Disney news coverage, make sure you are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on, and if we've earned it, a thumbs up means an awful lot. For the Kingdom Report, I'm Wade Heath. We'll see you next time for another installment of the Disney News Update.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.